Hey everybody, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. Big SEC news today, my friends. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse calling out Gary Genser and the SEC on Twitter, talking about the one-year anniversary of the lawsuit against Ripple, which sent the price of XRP crashing. Also, the SEC has denied another Bitcoin spot ETF. This is pathetic. Gary Genser is pathetic. I'll share the details there. And there's quite a few people weighing in, including a congressman, lots of folks talking about what the SEC is doing. So we'll break down the details there. We also have tons of big Bitcoin and crypto adoption news, which includes banks, more mining equipment being built, different cities getting on board. Very bullish news on that front. And there's a big Twitter feud going on with Jack Dorsey and the Web3 folks and all kinds of stuff, guys. It's a lot of drama I want to share with you guys. So before we get to it, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, this video is brought to you by Algorand, which is building the future of finance. It is the convergence of decentralized and traditional financial models. And Algorand is getting really significant adoption, guys. For example, the city of Miami will be using Algorand to track the air quality in the city. Borderless Capital launched a $500 million algo fund. We have both Anthony Scaramucci and Michael Arrington investing hundreds of millions of dollars into Algorand. And we have companies building NFTs on Algorand. You have central banks building CBDCs on Algorand. I personally hold the Algo token. I'm bullish on it. So if you'd like to learn more about Algorand, please visit algorand.com. All right, let's look at the market here. There's a little bit of green on the market. You know, from a 24-hour perspective, Bitcoin was over $49,000 today, which was a good sign. But, if we look at the Bitcoin weekly chart here, this rally or this uptick or this upward movement has to prove itself because we've been in a downtrend, right? We look at the weekly chart, you see a green candle forming here, but it's not a strong green candle. My hope is that this end of this week, we close, and that is Sunday, we close on a green candle. If we close above 51,500 or at least 52,000, that will be awesome. That will be bullish. If we drop, the price drops and it goes to 40,000 or below, that is very bearish, my friends. But as I've been saying, we have to be patient, and I do believe there's one more bull run left, one more parabolic move upwards for Bitcoin, and then we hit the bull off top. Then we have alt season. That's just from my research and looking at the charts and looking at historical patterns. Obviously, this is not guaranteed. I could be wrong. So want to make sure you guys understand that I'm not saying this is a definitive thing. I'm saying this from a probability standpoint, we are still in a bull market and there's still a move upwards, but we'll see what happens. Right now, I like what I'm seeing, but Bitcoin still has to hit that, once again, a critical level breakthrough, 51,500 or 52,000 in that range. And I think we will be set for upward movement. Here, Crypto Bird, which does great, this guy and his team, they do great analysis. He provided the following chart saying Bitcoin view, unless there's some external FUD or shock that comes out, that, maybe like a black swan event. But he's saying we could see a move upwards, essentially what I'm saying. And, maybe the next move upwards is to 75 or 75 to 80. We'll see, but it's all a patience game. And obviously this is spilling over into 2022. So we shall see what happens, my friends. We just got to be patient at this point. Dan Tapiero, who I've interviewed, he's a big time investor, has the fund 10T Holdings, and they're on their third crypto fund. He's raising a lot of money. And if you haven't seen my interview with him, please check out the link in the description. He said, rallies start when least expected / when tired bulls give up. Sentiment turned sour. Even Jack is feeling negative. So Jack Dorsey, towards his fellow digital brethren. And this is a hint towards the Web3 feud we'll talk about later in the video. But Dan said, great traders always noted Buy when MACD is low and hooks up. Markets are markets. Strap on your Bitcoin and hold on tight. So even he's expecting a move upwards, and that right now, where the price has been in this corrective phase was another accumulation phase, essentially. And this is not financial advice, of course, do your own research. But theoretically, this could be another accumulation phase, even if you're doing short-term swing trading. So for example, if you buy here at the bottom of like 46,000, I bought some here. So let's say the price jumps back up to 70 something thousand. You could sell that, swing trade it, and make a nice profit, right? Or you can hodl for the blow off top. It's up to you, but I certainly will be taking profits as we continue to head higher to new all-time highs. So just some thoughts here, and I think Dan is right. And remember, he's a macro guy. He looks at the market from a holistic macro view. And these guys are not looking at price alone. They're looking at trends, adoption, who's coming into the market, who's building, so on and so forth. And like I said, check out my interview with him. All right, let's jump to the news here. Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, tweeted the following today. He said, 1 year ago today, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple, Chris Larsen, and me, alleging that XRP, a public crypto that has been trading on the open market since 2013, should have been registered as a security. So it's the 1 year anniversary, guys, and it was painful, right? Jay Clayton, on his way out, running out the door, dropped this lawsuit and left a lot of XRP holders just destroyed. For the holiday season, we saw the price tank. Exchanges started delisting, and of course, they've still delisted. And we have this lawsuit going on. So let me continue here as to what he tweeted. And this is funny. He said, of all the shitty things in 2020, this was certainly one to cap the year. And he put a laughing emoji. But what I said then remains painfully true today. This is an attack on crypto in the US, not just Ripple. Some took the SEC's allegations at face value / thought this was a one-off, but no longer. Absolutely. Myself and other XRP holders have been saying this throughout the year. Genser and the SEC want to slow down crypto as much as possible. Look at what they're doing. They stopped Coinbase lending, right? They blocked the stable coin lending, the ability to lend, borrow USDC and earn interest, guys. Why would they do that? It's because it disrupts the existing financial cartel, the banking cartel, which is Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citi, and so forth. We know Gary Gensler is on the payroll of these guys. He's a Wall Street guy, and from his different statements, you see this. He's talking about the banking sector and how crypto, is affecting it, and stable coins are so dangerous and all that. It's all to protect the legacy incumbents, guys. But as I've stated many times, doesn't matter how many roadblocks Gary puts up, disruption in technology always wins. History has shown us that. So while he may slow things down in the short term, long term, they're going to lose. And we're waiting on Congress to pass comprehensive crypto regulations to put the SEC in their rightful place, because Genser wants more power, guys. All right, let me continue here. Brad Garlinghouse said, 2021 has been a watershed year for crypto. Acceptance and awareness of the opportunity to bring billions of people into the global financial community has never been so clear. It's been incredible to see a lot less maximalism and more builders joining the industry. I have to agree with that. I think, the whole Gary Genser SEC situation and the infrastructure bill situation brought a lot of crypto communities together. Not fully, there's still maximalism and tribalism, but I think there's less of it. And I agree with Brad here. And a lot of people join arms in arm to go against, these people who are anti-crypto. All right, let's continue. Brad said, proud to say it was Ripple's strongest year ever. XRP-based on-demand liquidity payments accounts for 25% of the dollar volume across RippleNet, and ODL transactions are up 25x from Q3 2020 and 130% quarter over quarter. So XRP is getting adoption globally through ODL, on-demand liquidity. And he continues here saying, not to mention the new ODL corridors like Japan and the United Arab Emirates, and our CBDC solution built on a private version of the public XRP ledger, partnering with Bhutan and Palau. All of this growth came outside the US. And then he puts in parentheses here, sigh, obvious reasons. So you read between the lines there. This would have happened in the United States as well, getting adoption of different banks and payment providers in the United States who are sending money cross-border, and possibly some building on the XRP ledger by maybe the Fed. He gave two examples, right? And we know Ripple's Craig DeWitt, we covered this news. He's sitting on the Faster Payments Council. Through different conversations, I get some sense that the Fed is maybe testing something. Obviously, I don't have concrete evidence on this, but there could be adoption here in the United States from that standpoint. Maybe the United States, the Fed, they build their CBDC on the XRP ledger. Once again, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying that's a possibility. I think there's a high probability of that, but it is not guaranteed. And they could pick another blockchain solution, or they can create their own, right? Just want to make sure I give you guys all respective sides of the token, the point of views. So continuing here, he says, which brings me back to the SEC. As chair, Gary Genser, and he tags him in the post, seeks to expand its remit. He has taken an aggressively anti-crypto approach, and companies are already moving outside the US. Web 2 was built with many American companies, but Web 3, or whatever we want to call it, to be determined. He said, ignoring its prior statements, the SEC today won't answer questions about the legal status of Ethereum, much less anything else. Is the agency actually living up to its mission of protecting investors with regulation by enforcement, and what Hester Peirce calls strategic ambiguity? So obviously we know Hester Peirce and Elad Roisman have taken a stance against Genser and the other two commissioners there, calling out that there's ambiguity. There's no clear rules that the SEC has put out for crypto. Forget about the Howey test from 1930. They need to provide a crypto test, so to speak, right? Of how you help these new emerging companies, technologies, tokens, and so forth to be working with the SEC. And Hester Peirce suggested, the sandbox, where initially they could start off as a security, but they stay within certain guardrails and under the view of the SEC, and then eventually they come out of that sandbox where they become a full decentralized network. Now, Genser doesn't like that. We know this. He wants to go around shaking down these different companies and getting settlement money. And part of it too is, once again, the banking cartel telling Genser, giving him in his orders, slow this thing down. It is disrupting the hell out of all these banks. But like I said, they can put up as many roadblocks, but it ain't going to stop this thing. Innovation and technology always wins. So Brad said, calling crypto the Wild West is a farce. Most are complying with financial regulators globally. This industry shouldn't be published for asking for regulatory clarity and regulation that is consistently applied with a level playing field. He said, ironically enough, and a personal favorite of mine is the brilliance of David Schwartz, who works at Ripple as a CTO. This is what he predicted could happen almost 2 years ago before the SEC filed their lawsuit. #Nostradamus. So there's a clip of going back to 2019 where David Schwartz talked about at a conference that the SEC is not providing the guidance. People are talking to them on a weekly, monthly basis. And then all of a sudden they pop out of nowhere saying, hey, you did something wrong. You should have known. This is what we wanted. Here's your lawsuit. Here's your fine. So that's what Genser wants to continue. But that is going to stifle innovation. It's going to send companies overseas, because we know in Europe, in Japan, and many Asian countries, they have clarity. They view XRP and many of these crypto assets as virtual currencies, not as securities. So finally, Brad said the following: this holiday season, let's make the time to reach out to our elected officials in Congress so they understand the need to act now. I hope the industry gets some answers instead of another lump of coal. Well put. And this is why I always encourage you guys, tweet, make videos, call, send emails, and your voice will be heard, guys, because we saw it with the infrastructure bill. The people in Congress did not see this coming. Hell, Gary Genser and the SEC did not see John Deaton coming. Our voices, our crowdsourced voices and actions will have an effect. It's already having an effect, but we need to keep putting the pressure. This is why I always cover the news of where the SEC is getting called out, because public perception and optics matter, guys, especially in a social media driven world. It matters. You know, before we couldn't do this because we didn't have access to radio or TV. We'd have to pay millions of dollars, right? Now, guys, it's a level, the internet has created the ultimate level playing field. And Genser and his cronies and the banking cartel are trying to slow this down. So John Deaton, who's representing XRP holders, you know, on his website, crypto-law.us, created a form called Connect to Congress, where you can sign up and it will help you connect with your respective elected official in your state, city, and so forth. And you can submit information there, guys, of what you want to see. Because the SEC, remember, it is funded by our tax dollars, those of us who live in the United States. So they are responsible and have to answer to us. But as always, government, right? These guys, they get a ego and they, oh, we got the power, we can do whatever we want. No. That's not going to happen. This is why we have to keep fighting, guys. This is the future. This is the future of our in the United States, our country, and jobs and GDP and revenue and so forth. It is one of the green lights, the path to maintaining you know, a lot of our success as a country, right? Yes, there's flaws, but I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. The same way the internet at the start of it and the dot-com boom benefited our economy, this is going to benefit our economy as well. And Genser and these guys, the incumbents, they want to slow this down. Now, Jeremy Hogan, obviously attorney who's covered the SEC Ripple lawsuit in depth, excuse me, he said the following: on the SEC versus Ripple anniversary, I have been involved in 1,000 lawsuits in various US courts and various areas of law. The court system is frustrating and lengthy, but what I know is that it usually gets it right. Don't give in to cynicism. It will get it right again. So talking about, you know, the SEC, obviously they did this thing wrong, clearly, right? They hurt XRP holders. They're trying to stop a lot of things in the crypto market. And I personally believe Ripple will win the lawsuit. I do believe Ripple will have to pay a fine for 2013 to 2015, and XRP will be declared a non-security and relisted on exchanges. Now, the question is, when is that settlement or outcome going to happen? I think sometime next year. And I'm not pulling that out of my ass, right? Brad Garlinghouse himself said he expects some sort of settlement or agreement or whatever you want to call it next year. So we'll see. I hope so. And I hope Congress steps in to do the right thing. We're seeing more Congress members getting on board and putting pressure on the SEC. And I'll share an example from Congressman Tom Emmer. Look at what he tweeted to Gary Genser. This is a congressman. He said, "Thanks, Gary, for protecting investors from crypto, the best performing asset class on the market. You are really helping Americans buy homes, save for college, and plan for retirement." She's being sarcastic, obviously, because Genser's posting about, oh, we want to help people, investors, to confidently and safely buy homes and pay for college. Bullshit, Gary, you're full of shit. And you're getting called out by people in Congress. So put the pressure, guys. Tweet, email, make videos. It shouldn't just be YouTubers making videos. You make videos. It's important. And tag the SEC, tag Gary Genser, tag Hester Peirce. You know, never in the history of the world have we had platforms like this where you didn't have to pay anything and your voice could be heard, guys. So I encourage you to do that. Here's another example of the SEC being anti-innovation and anti-American. The SEC rejects Krypton, I can't pronounce this, Krypton spot Bitcoin ETF proposal. So another Bitcoin spot ETF getting rejected. Now, a couple of things. So for those of you who are new, they approved the Bitcoin futures ETF. But what have I said to you guys all the time? The futures ETF can easily be used to manipulate the markets, right? We saw JP Morgan, what they did to gold and silver and some of these other guys. That's why Genser is okay with it, because they can manipulate it with the price difference between the futures and the spot market. And this is what they've done to other markets. So he doesn't want the spot because the spot has to be physically backed. You actually are trading the physical Bitcoin, right? Of course, he doesn't want that. So the decision follows about 5 weeks after the agency rejected VanEck's application for a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, after they rejected VanEck, I didn't expect them to approve any other Bitcoin spot ETF, because VanEck, if you guys know who they are one of the legacy investment firms. And I've interviewed Gabor Grabox of VanEck, and they're one of the guys in the companies that have that reputation of doing it right. Their I's are dotted, their T's are crossed, right? They're not some hedge fund that popped up yesterday or something like that. They've been around for a long time. They have the branding, they have the name, they have the clout. But Genser, anti-innovation, anti-American. And you may say, why are you saying they're anti-American? Well, if you remember just about a month ago, what did Fidelity do? They went and got a Bitcoin ETF, spot ETF, approved in Canada and listed it on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Now, I guarantee you, if Gary Gensler and the SEC had approved some Bitcoin ETFs, those will be going live on the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. But these companies have to go outside the country. That is why I'm saying it's anti-American. How the hell do you have Fidelity, an American company that manages trillions of dollars, go outside the country to do this? That's pathetic. That is just asinine. So this is why Genser has to go. We need to put pressure on him. Ryan Selkis of Messari, who I will be interviewing soon, he said the following: the only toxic investments I made this year were the results of SEC policies. Good news, though. Goldman Genser plans to add another anti-crypto stooge as crypto czar. He's a Warren fan and current Sherrod Brown staffer. I wonder if he'll be reasonable. So we have a new guy coming in, and it looks like he's going to be a crony for Genser. So Ryan continues saying, Goldman Gary's incoming crypto czar is besties with another member of Genser's inner circle, the same woman who planted Alexis Goldstein on the Senate witness list, despite her complete lack of expertise or impartiality on the subject. They deserve your scorn. He's absolutely right. And this is why I'm going to repeat again: tweet, email, make videos, phone calls, whatever you need to do, guys, to let our voices be heard. All right, moving ahead, and to not make this doom and gloom, we obviously have a fight on our hands against the SEC. But guess what? Innovation continues to move forward. Look at this. Capital invested in cryptocurrencies from January to December 2020, $5.5 billion was invested. From January to December 2021, $30 billion. That's a 445% increase year over year. The money is coming in, and we're seeing institutional players, they're buying the assets, but they're also investing in the companies building the infrastructure. And you can't miss that, right? And I've said it many times, I wish I could double dip. I wish I was an accredited investor and I could, go to some of these hedge funds and participate, or, those who are doing equity raises and put a couple million or whatever it is. But you know what? We have still a big opportunity with the tokens themselves. Look at this, guys. Breaking from Bitcoin Magazine, $2.7 billion New Jersey community bank to let clients to buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin. This is Manusquan Bank. Guys, the dominoes are falling, and I believe this has to do with Backed. Let's see if here we go. We're pleased to work with Manusquan Bank to bring their retail clients access to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrency within their trusted digital banking environment. Guys, do you see what is happening here? Banks, stock exchanges, hedge funds, investment firms, corporates, everybody is getting involved. And those of you who are my OG subscribers who've been listening to me since 2017, 2018, I was talking to you guys about this, right? That in the adoption curve, eventually the dominoes of the bank, stock exchanges will all jump in. It's happening. It's not all happening overnight. The dominoes are falling one by one, but it's pretty amazing to see this happen, guys. Now look at this. The city of Abilini, if I'm saying that right, I apologize if I'm butchering it. It's one of those days where I can't pronounce words, to build a $2.4 billion data center that will host Bitcoin mining. So where is this city? It is in Texas, my friends, which is becoming a big Bitcoin mining hub. I've interviewed, obviously, the guys at Whinstone Riot, which is the largest Bitcoin miner in North America and possibly the world. They just can't verify what's in China. But let me see if I can pull up that interview here for you guys. Let's see. I want to make sure you guys know what I got the exclusive interviews for you so you can hear from these people. Yeah, so Chad Harris from Riot Whinstone, and I'll actually be interviewing someone from Riot blockchain, which is a mining company as well, pretty soon. And Riot and Whinstone are partnered together. And man, if you look at what they're doing in Texas and Rockdale, Texas, excuse me, it's pretty amazing. The amount of facilities they're building and how large they are, it's massive, guys. It's massive. And that's why I've been saying there's a Bitcoin mining boom happening in the United States. Don't write Bitcoin off. It's a great store of value. It's digital gold. And I believe that is its major use case. Where I don't believe it's for everyday currency usage as some people are touting it to be, but we're seeing these corporates and hedge funds are buying it up. All right, let's move ahead here. Speaking of Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin miner Terrawolf bought 15,000 more miners worth $169 million. This news is from literally yesterday, guys. And I want to emphasize how important this is because retail investors are crying on Twitter and scared of, oh my God, the price is dropping. Are we going to a bear market? And these guys are like, here's $169 million. Send me 15,000 miners. They are looking macro view. They know higher prices are coming. They're not worried about short-term volatility and fluctuations and market cycles. And I hope you come to that mindset as well. And you may say, well, why are you stressing that? Why are you telling us about it? Because that is how smart money has historically outlasted retail. Retail is impatient. Retail moves with emotions. Retail follows mainstream media investment advice, Jim Cramer and these guys. Like I said before, don't listen to those people. I'm not even saying listen to me. I'm saying, look at what I'm sharing here. I usually share your facts. I have it on the screen. For those of you listening on a podcast, you can verify this. Go research it yourself. Do your own research, and you'll see the capital that is flowing into the market, both to the assets as well as the companies. And when I see these miners buying millions of dollars, they're going public, they're raising capital, and they're not selling the Bitcoin they're mining. That is so bullish, guys. That is so bullish. I don't care if you hold Bitcoin or not. That is bullish because they're expecting higher prices. You don't hold an asset like this and all of it that you're mining. Remember, these are companies. They have overhead costs. They have to make a profit. They have to pay their bills, right? They have to pay the electricity bills. They have to pay their workers. They have to pay their rent or their taxes, whatever, right? And they're still holding on to the Bitcoin. And they're probably, some of them are probably taking losses but they know that the higher prices are coming, they're going to make the money back. And I don't know how else to explain it. I hope you guys see what is happening here. The capital they're raising, it's pretty crazy. All right, let's talk about Jack Dorsey and Web3 and the Twitter feud. Jack is going here. Okay, let me start by saying this. I have the utmost respect for Jack and what he's built as an entrepreneur, as a visionary. So I am not anti-Jack. I am not, trying to go against him or whatever it is. I'm just saying his opinion on certain things are wrong. First up, he's been kind of trashing Web3. He said the following: "You don't own Web3. The VCs and their LPs do. It will never escape their incentives. It's ultimately a centralized entity with a different label. Know what you're getting into." And some other people like Balaji and these different folks prominent in the crypto market were calling him out. Even Tyler Winklevoss, one of the Winklevoss twins, and Cameron also did as well, kind of highlighting, dude, Jack Dorsey, when he sold his first tweet ever as an NFT for $2.9 million, that is Web3. NFTs Web3. So bit of hypocrisy here. And even what I found interesting is Mark Andreessen of Andreessen Horowitz blocked Jack. And obviously, Mark Andreessen, these guys are VCs, right? So I think Jack is going a little bit too aggressive on this, right? Where he's kind of alienating a lot of the crypto community. And I think it's because I don't know what changed, but he's kind of going into a Bitcoin maximalism mindset. Because here's another example, guys, that I disagreed with. Cardi B. Many of you know who Cardi B is. She tweeted, "Do you think crypto is going to replace the dollar?" Now, notice she said crypto. Jack says, yes, Bitcoin will. Now, not even Michael Saylor, who I believe is the biggest Bitcoin bull, has said something like that, because he's often said, hey, Bitcoin is not going to replace the dollar. I don't think any fiat currency is going to get replaced by crypto. Bitcoin is digital gold. And just like gold and fiat exist today in the dynamic of inflation versus store of value, that's how Bitcoin will exist. And yes, will people use cryptocurrencies, different cryptocurrencies to pay each other? Yes. Will it replace fiat on a global level? Hell no, especially not the US dollar. And Michael Saylor has said, it's going to go into stable coin format, in that form, so to speak, and people are going to transact with still a stable coin or CBDCs, right? Those things are happening whether you like it or not. But Jack is saying Bitcoin will replace the US dollar. I don't think so, especially when the layer 2 solution of Lightning has not been fully rolled out to certain markets, and they're still testing certain things. There are still flaws. I'm not saying that eventually the Lightning Network can get to a good spot where it's getting major adoption, but to replace the US dollar, I don't think so. So once again, my point is Jack is on the offensive here for some reason from a Bitcoin maximalist standpoint, and I don't agree with it. But I don't hate Jack. I'm not blocking. I'm not cursing him out. So I just want to make sure you guys understand that. And it's okay to disagree, right? But I think he's alienating a lot of people who are looking at crypto as an asset class, not just Bitcoin. How the hell can Bitcoin just be everything about crypto? That's not possible. Out of Bitcoin was birthed some great things, right? Obviously, altcoins, NFTs, DeFi. And Bitcoin, it's still trying to get a lot of these things going, such as smart contracts and improving scalability and speed. But that doesn't mean Bitcoin is bad or it sucks. I think it's a great store of value. It's the most proven. It has the brand. It's getting the most adoption. So those facts cannot be ignored. And I'm about facts, guys, not feelings or emotions or tribalism or maximalism. I'm here to make money. I'm looking at what is getting adoption, who's buying what, who's investing in what, not wishful thinking. So interesting drama and feud here, guys. I think Jack is off on this one, but we'll see how things play out. Maybe he comes around. Anyway, guys, what do you think about this news? Leave your thoughts and comments below. And like I said, guys, keep making videos, keep contacting your officials, keep tweeting, keep writing emails, phone calls, do what you need to do, especially if you're a crypto holder. It doesn't matter if you're an XRP holder or not. Genser is coming after everything, and we need to stop him, guys. We need the people in Congress to take action. So let me know what you think. I'll talk to you guys later.